All right, we want to turn now. We're tracking the latest in the murder trial for Mikhail Bowers, who's accused of killing her boyfriend of more than 20 years. That case is almost finished.
And today, 23 ABC's Leah Pizzetti was in court to hear those closing arguments. She joins us live tonight in downtown Bakersfield. Leah, with the very latest from inside.
Tim, Jessica, all day both sides gave their final plea to the jury before deliberation. The 12 jurors have sat through 2 weeks of trial, hearing testimony from authorities, from loved ones, even Bowers herself. The prosecution saying this is a domestic violence case, the defense saying it's a case of self-defense. Today, the prosecution started opening statements, speaking for an hour and a half to make their final case. They went through the details of the killing, including a timeline, saying Bowers and Ingram were in a relationship for more than 20 years. Ingram had a relationship with another woman, and she had his child in 2013. Years later, in 2017, Bowers thought the other woman was out of the picture. Then she found a receipt with 2 sets of Valentine's Day gifts. She and Ingram exchanged multiple phone calls that day, then silence. 4 days later, Ingram sent a text to Bowers saying, quote, "Put all my stuff in the bag, my receipts. I'm dropping all your stuff this morning. No conversation needed." That same morning, video shows Ingram pulling up to Bowers' house. Then 5 minutes later, a 911 call is made. The prosecution saying she, quote, ambushed him in her house, killing him with just 1 shot fired. This is part of that 911 call.
There was an altercation. I just need the police. If anybody can call, please come right now.
Bowers' defense attorney spent an hour and a half with closing statements today, then got cut off because court needed to wrap for the day. The defense brought up what Bowers said in her testimony, claiming the two yelled at each other that morning, yelling expletives at each other. Bowers claiming Ingram said to her, quote, "I'm going to kill you." Bowers' defense took a more visual approach, pulling in props to reenact the morning of the killing and that conversation. Plastic pipes at least 6 feet tall were brought into the courtroom to resemble the doorway and walls in the bedroom where Ingram was shot. The defense using a fake gun to reenact the situation, saying she actually accidentally pulled that trigger, and this is a case of self-defense. Bowers' attorney speaking at full volume, almost yelling today in the courtroom as he described her perspective. Bowers showed emotion during this perspective, crying while he spoke. Now, the defense did not finish their closing statements today, so that will continue tomorrow morning at 9:15. Then the prosecution will have a chance to rebut, and the jury will then go into deliberation. Live in downtown Bakersfield, Leah Pizzetti, 23 ABC.